everybody, I just got back from Creativation, formerly known as CHA, and they just now changed the name of the entire conference instead of known as CHA to AFCI, which is Association for Creative Industries. This was the bag, and I'm going to show you really fast. It's a really cute bag. Spellbinders made the bag, and inside it had your book, it had some handouts. This was the main pamphlet they had for all the different products and the different companies, and there are some ads in here. It talks about the influencers and just a little bit of everything about, and truly I haven't even had a chance to look at this. I was so busy. There's some ads in here too, but it talked about a whole bunch of the different companies at American Crafts, Art Foam, Art Stands. This is my very first conference like this to go to. I've been to other conferences, I've been to NAMTA and I've been to Pinners and things like that, but I've not been to some of these other ones. So this was the bag that we got, beautiful bag. Inside the bag we got a little bit of Mod Podge, and this is our gloss luster Mod Podge. We also got a stamp, and this is by Plaid. We also got a stamp by My Sentiments Exactly, or MSE, and this one's a really cute little stamp set, and it's called For All the Words You Clearly Want to Stamp. And so it says, tomorrow will be a brighter day, follow your dreams, you make each day sweeter, you're quite special to me, and you're my thoughts today. Now the only way to get this bag, and there's a few other things in there paper-wise, I completely forgot to go drop this off. This was for a entry to win something and a free chance for a drink. I completely forgot about it. I was so busy, and I have lots of videos of me walking around. There's already one been live, so go check that out. But the only way to get this bag is if you were a designer. So if you saw somebody with a teal color, that means you were their designer. And in the back of all my stuff, I have my cards. So I was putting, I don't even know if they're in there anymore, but I went through a ton of cards. I was passing cards out left and right. For me as a designer, that's who I was giving them out. You know, I live in Pflugerville, so everybody kept asking me, how do you say that? And then I also got some cards because I was a exhibitor. I was exhibitor with a few different people. So these were some of the tickets that I got, and I completely forgot to put in door prizes too. I got busy is what happened. And so, I didn't get a chance to turn these in, but I did do the Fashion Fusion, and I'll tell you all about that. That was like my little way of doing a project runaway. But I was also there with Canvas Core, and I was there with Renia, which was two companies. Renia I did make and takes with, and Canvas Core I helped set up and kind of sat and played for a little bit and did some things. Like I said, I was also there with Brutus Monroe. I got my own cards, and I'm his wholesale coordinator. So if you ever want to hook up with some stamp stuff and stuff, ever interested in getting some Brutus Monroe, let me know. I had my personal cards, and then I also had my Renia cards I was passing out, depending on what company I was talking with at the time. For Canvas Core, I wasn't necessarily passing out cards because it wasn't me. It was, we were talking about our brand new product called the Architectures. So this was kind of our card we were passing out. So I had a whole slew of these, and I was giving these out to people and saying, go check out the store, go check out the booth, go check this out. And it had what booth we were on, and it talked about what Architectures were all about and a little bit about Seven Gypsies in general. So this was the new launch of a product that we had. And I'm going to talk more about this in a little bit because I have some other ones I want to show you. So I might find a way to do something fun with these tags because they're pretty cool. I'm liking them. I ended up having 3 separate tags, and the reason why I kept both badges is because the yellow meant exhibitor, so that meant I could get on the floor earlier or later, and the aqua meant designer. So there's certain things that I could only do because I was a designer, and I was wearing both hats. So I was very happy. The only other color that they had was red, which meant you were a buyer. That means you were walking around and possibly buying things for your store, and I was not in that category. So I was also walking around in the booths, and I was picking up some fun things, and I was definitely blinging up my button collection. 2 of them I have actually made, and you probably saw these fun little flowers. This was one of the make and takes I did with Beacon. This was on day 2. Day 1 with Beacon, we made these cute little clips, and they were super adorable. We found some really pretty little gems, and I just put them on a Canvas Core little mini clothespin, and we used the Beacon glue to stick the gems down. Super easy, super simple, very versatile. And the point of what my make and takes were all about was it's something easy that you could just clip onto your necklace or your whatever, you know, or stick on your badge. So that's why the clothespin worked really well, and also with the clip. And the last one I did was actually make and take clip pin that you could do, and I'm going to show you guys how to do this. I have a video coming up live from the show. Well, not live anymore, but we did the video on the floor of the show of how I made this little guy. I don't know, it might even actually be this particular one. Some of the other pins, I ran into Rita Baccarat, and she had a whole set of pins. This is her drawing and her artwork, and she made a pin for us. This one is Charity Wings. They had a really cute make and take, and I'm going to finish doing that. You'll see that in a minute. Pink and Maine was a really sweet company I ran into. Sweet Georgia, Copic markers, and then Gel Press. These were all the fun buttons that I got, and so this one actually has 2017 on it. And then lastly, up at the front booth, one of the people were there were Office Depot, because even though you're a company that's all about products, some of the fun stuff that you could get, you need to ship it, you need to make pamphlets, you need to make the cards, you need to make your magazines, whatever it may be, and Office Depot can help you do that. So that's what this pen was all about. So these were all up in the check-in when you got your bags and your badges and stuff, and so I snagged a pen. So that's the beginning. This is just the tip of the iceberg. So let's move on to the rest, now that you've seen a glimpse. So as I was saying, the make and takes that I did with a couple of my companies, one of them was Beacon, and because I'm part of their makers team and they had some extra glues there, they were passing some things out instead of having to go home, ship it, and give it back to us. If we were there and we were running short on any of our glues, we could take them. And these ones across the board, the Fast Finish Decoupage, the 3-in-1, the mixed media, I'm completely out. I think I have like this much of my bottle left. Fabri-Tac, I am almost completely out of. And then Power Tack, I'm running pretty low too. And my 3-in-1, that's my hands down favorite right now. They let me take a few bottles home, so I got one of each because I said I was running low. And then since I was doing this particular little project in the booth, one of the other ladies, she had a whole bunch of these Maya Road tins. They were full of flowers she was making other stuff with, and she was throwing the tins away. So I stole a tin. She had them in the trash, and I thought, well, they'd be perfect to set out to put my supplies in. So these are the rest of the flowers that I punched for the Renia foil to make these cute little guys. And so I just popped the lid back on and brought the whole thing home. Super simple. I might use these for something else now. So this was one of my fun things I got to pick up, because we all need glue. Makes my life easy. While I was also there, there was a very, very sweet lady that works at Beacon. Her name is Diane. And she was running, I was doing one side of the make and takes, and I was rotating with a bunch of the other makers. Midge and Madge were there, Natalie was there. There was quite a few different, Lisa was there. Lots of designers, makers as we call them in Beacon, that were doing projects on one side of the booth, and then there was another side where Diane was running her make and takes, and that's where I was actually able to get this little tin from. And she let me also borrow some of the other supplies to make some projects as well, because I was short-handed on a few things, and she was so super sweet. And so she made these what I would call designer survival bags, and she put the label on there and went with the Beacon yellow. And I've never met her before. I hadn't met almost hardly anybody there. And so I was thinking, oh, how cute. She got us cute crafty things. No, 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 no. She got us things that would be useful, because you're going to get enough crafty stuff when you're at the show. What she got us were things because we weren't at home, and what if we forgot it? So sweet. First one was socks. Now you might be thinking, well, what do you need socks for? By the end of the day, first day, just set up, my feet were toast. I mean, you're on your feet all day. The show opened at 9, but I got there about 8:15 to help get everything up and organized. And you didn't leave the floor. It's closed at 6, except for the very last day. And you're there the whole day. You're lucky if you got food. So, and I ate all the food. She put snacks in here too, let me tell you, and they're gone. They are so gone. So cozy socks, because at the end of the day, you really want something warm and fuzzy on your feet. I didn't get a chance to put these on because truly, I never got a chance. By the time I got back to where I was sleeping, shoes came off, I was asleep. But it was so sweet. I love these magnets, and I didn't get a chance to even take them out, but they're so adorable. So cute. Tissues, and I actually had another pack with me, but it came in handy that there was tissues. Super nice. Another lanyard, and I ended up having a ton, but I think this is so pretty. She thought ahead, what if you didn't like the one they gave you or whatever, so she got us a lanyard to put our badges on, which I thought was fun, or in case yours broke, you know, there's always something. And then this one was so cute. I've already dove into it. This one is so cute. She got us these scented soap petals, and as you can see, I've already opened it up and used some of them, but it is so cute. And this is what I saw at the top of the bag, and I'm thinking, oh, cool, she got us a little crafty, no, not crafty flowers, soap. And so worth it, because I went to the bathroom a couple times and there was no soap. So I love this. I mean, she really knew what she was talking about. Also some cranberry apple scented shower gel. And I will have to tell you, as soon as I came home, my daughter saw all this stuff and she's already claimed it as hers. And there was another one, it was another little shower gel. I think it was like a bath bubbles or something. And she's already used it up because I didn't get a chance to do the video as soon as I get home. And then there was a couple little things. There was some wet wipes. They're gone. I already used those. And this was a face wash in case you're out of your face wash or something. So she really did think ahead. Thank you so much, Diane. You were so sweet. Absolutely amazing. It makes me think now that the next time I go, I need to think of, especially if I'm in charge of designers. Like I had 3 or 4 designers I was kind of in charge of this year, and I didn't even think about that. I was so concentrating on the show, I never even dawned on me to bring little survival kits to people. And you're so absolutely right. These things were amazing. I loved it, and you're just so super sweet. So thank you so much. It pleasures my heart to know people still out there think of little things like this to pass out to people, because it really was about the nicest thing. Thank you. All right, another fun company that was running around and doing, and she was passing, and I've worked with her before. This is with Amazing Mold Putty. This is with Aluminite, and I have played with this. This is a 2-part putty where you take part of part A and part of part B, put it together, and then as soon as you do that, you lay it on something, and you can make a texture sheet, you can make a mold for something, and then you can pour and make a cast. And so this is a really fun way of doing a cast. And she was passing out these fun little things, and there was a hashtag that she was talking about how to, if you made a mold or something, then you hashtagged it, and I think it was, you know, I forget, but I got a couple of samples of the mold of the putty, which I thought was pretty fun. I have played with this before, but you know, it's always fun to kind of play with it again, which is absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much. Yeah, these came from Susan Brown, and she just happened to walk up, and she's part of another group that's why I was using this in the first place, which is Designers Crafts Connection, which is a group of CHA designers or CHA companies that want to help promote their stuff. So that's a fun group that I belong to. So one of the companies that was right in the middle of from where I was with Beacon and then over where I was Rania, I was walking kind of back and forth between those 2 companies quite a bit, was this canvas company. And it was the last day, and I was walking by, and I noticed they had all these really cute canvases, and some of them were already colored. Some of them, they were different sizes. They were just really cute. So a little bit different than the canvases I played with Canvas Core. And some of them already had cute little easels, or they had an image on them. So I just thought that was adorable. And they also have larger canvases. This is a heart. They also had hexagons. Again, not any size or shapes that I've played with before. And so I walked up and I said, those are so cute. And the name of the company is NG Langer. I think they're out of China. And she said, yes, please. And it was the last day, and so she let me take this. And then as we were doing all the cleanup, I noticed that these were just sitting on a board in the booth, stuck to part of one of their walls, and they left it behind. You could tell they were gone. There was nothing. There was trash out. I mean, everybody was trashing everywhere. And so I grabbed these 2 fun shapes, and that's why they're stuck to each other, is because this is what they had plastered against the wall. So I got to pick up a couple of fun shapes to play with. So thank you, NG Langer. Really appreciate that. All right, so one of the other companies that I was working with is Canvas Core, Tattered Angels, and 7 Gypsies. And the big launch for them this year is the architectures, and that's what this is right here. So I was able to bring, this is one they were passing out, I already showed you earlier. And the reason why we did that is that because 7 Gypsies logo is this truck. And on the back side, we created a special paper for it to be stamped on so people would know what booth to do. And so I was walking around with a whole bunch of other designers, and we'd be passing these out to anybody who had the red at the bottom of their badge and say, hey, buyer, come over, take a look at the fun things. So here's another one. And here's the cool thing about this. If it's supposed to be like a tile, it feels like a tile. If it's supposed to feel like metal, it feels like metal. If it's supposed to feel like whatever surface, it's supposed to feel like leather. That's what it feels like. And some of the other, here's another one. This is one of the ones that I would call more of the stencil-y ones, because it's a sticker, but it's not. It's really quite cool. Just to kind of give you a tiny preview. This one you can peel up, and as you can tell, it is kind of see-through. I mean, it's got sections. So you can lay this down on something, stencil it, pick it up, and just keep reusing it as this alternative stencil. You can also use the backing. The backing packaging is so cool. The architectures, you can cut apart all these letters as they're meant to do. The paper itself, use some of these pieces. I mean, look at the cute little bodice back here. Even if you don't like the words in here, stick something in the middle and you have this great little square. So just think about all these fun things that you can do. You can paint on it, hence what all of these can work really well with the Tattered Angels Mist and Paints. You can use this purely as a sticker because it looks kind of like a fence. I mean, there's so many things, and hence this is a fence. There's so many things you can do with these stickers. Some of them have, or they're not even stickers, they're different because they act like so many different things. Some of the other ones, when you pull them off, this one's not the best scenario of this, but it may have a backing on it. You can peel it off and it leaves a space. And this one doesn't have it either because they already got pulled out of their section. This was a little secret bag, which something secret from Seven Gypsies that I got about 3 months ago, and I have not been able to reveal it until now. And so these are a couple of the other architecture pieces. So again, it looks like it's leather. It feels like it. This one feels like it's the ball. I mean, look at just the texture on this. It's awesome. It's so pretty. So this is what I was talking about, how this is how the architecture piece comes. If you lift this up, you get the negative space. And if you leave all these little pieces down, you get the negative. So you can use the back space as like a stencil. You can peel it off and you actually have the fan. And this fan was in the booth, and there's a video of me walking around where you can see the original fan that they got the example from, and then they made the architecture piece from that. So that's pretty cool. There's also paper lines. This is one of the tiles, and again, look at the fun things that you get on here. It's really, really cool. This is the tarnished silver. This is just another fun piece that you get to play with. So again, you get the backing, and then look at this. It looks like a tile, but it's not. But look at all the fun things you can do. You can cut this up. You can do so many cool things with this. So amazing new product from Seven Gypsies that we got to play with. And there was a whole table where everybody was just sitting, and we didn't have a set make and take. So we were doing a sit and play where we were letting people just sit down and play, and we were putting a lot of these little fun things off. This is one where I grabbed from that table. That's probably why the backing is not there. These little football pieces and sports pieces were pieces I did were sent to me a long time ago. And then the other thing is for some of my oh, here's another one of the papers. There's also paper lines that come with it as well. You can see some of the cool things that are kind of going along. I was also doing a make and take, and this paper I brought from home, but I requested some more of the tissue paper to help do this make and take that I was doing in the booth at this moment. So here's the damask tissue on here, and then I also asked for some of the other tissue paper that you can see right here. So I was just looking for cool background papers that would look really good as buttons, and so this is what was left over. This I actually brought from home. These Christine brought me from the Canvas course, so I had kind of a little, I need some supplies. And then we had some other ones. We also had some little ATCs and stuff, but they mostly all got used up. This was just some of the leftovers from my make and take. Can you guess what other company was there? Glue Dots was there. And they had these bags just sitting out. You didn't even have to go up and talk to them. You could just grab a bag. And inside the bag, it's pretty generous too. I was a little bit, truthfully, I grabbed 2 bags because, and here's the story. I came with my friend Bets. She came with me, and that's who I stayed with while I was there. And there's also, just so you know, there's some other things. These are all the amazing things that Glue Dots had. So since I was walking by the booth and she was helping me out, I didn't know if she had grabbed a bag, so I grabbed 2. Well, yeah, she did. So instead of walking back and putting it back, I kept it. I probably shouldn't have, but I did. So I got 2 little glue dot runners, as you can see, and basically glue dots, if you've never played with them, they're little circle adhesive dots that you can put onto projects. And so in each bag, that's why I have 2 of everything, is here we have glue dot adhesives. There's 36 in here. These are the permanent dots. These are the removable dots, and we got another 36 of those. We got a glue dot runner. So they're actually, you can see the little squares on here. So as you're running it, it's going to leave a little square behind. And so instead of a line, they're just little dots. And then I got a pen, or 2 pens actually. So thanks so much, Glue Dots. And I'll love the bag. I use reusable grocery bags all the time. And now I have some more. So got these from Glue Dots. Tombow was not there, unfortunately. I guess they opted not to come because they did the whole pinner circuit. So I guess they opted not to do CHA this year. A company that was right across the way from where I was with Rania is this company called Threads, and I was kind of intrigued by them. What it is they have a whole series of fabrics that you can put into your printer. It's inkjet printable fabrics, so that's what the printer is all about. And so there's different types of fabrics, and she said them, and you know, now they've gone in one year and out the other. So maybe it said on here. Oh, this is cotton twill. That's why she encased it between. So this is a cotton twill, and it says peel off the paper backing. Anything can be printed on this. Magic of thread. So like this was, so for instance, this is the cotton poplar that they've run through the inkjet printer, and then they just cut the edges to make it look pretty. But as you can see, here it is. It's this right here. So once you print it, you take it off this backing paper, and this is the fabric that you get. It's real fabric. They just put it on a stiffer something so it would be easier to run through your machine. So they figured out how to make it go through there. You can print pictures, take pictures of your designs that you made and turn it into something cool. And the other one she gave me, this other section right here, this is a silk chiffon. So again, you run it through and then you take it off the paper, but I don't want to do that yet. So I said, well, do you have a couple samples I could take home and I could play with? And so she gave me these two, and then one to kind of show you of what it would look like after you printed it. So this is obviously a picture, which I thought was kind of fun. So really cool stuff I get to play with that. My table's getting kind of full. One of the other companies that I didn't do anything in the booth with them this year because I wasn't sure, and it was kind of a last minute situation, and technically I was not working with them this year, but I am working with them this 2017, is with Paper House. So Paper House made these really cute little cards, greetings from Phoenix. They're actually true postcards, and look, they really even have first class postage, so I can mail a little postcard. I think I'm going to send it off to my friend. I think that she'll really like that. They had all these cute stickers that you could just kind of pull off as soon as you walked in, right where these were, and they all had the stickers having to do with cactuses, or with the dream catchers, or like sealed with a kiss, or the feathers, or the lizards. They kind of picked any kind of sticker lines that they had that would tie in with the phoenix. That was pretty cool. They also had this little package that you could take with you just for you on the house. So this is kind of like a little sampler pack that if you're interested, and I haven't even opened this yet. Let's see. I always feel weird taking some things from some of the companies that I work with anyway, because I'm just going to turn around and get some other stuff from them. And I didn't get, I spent time with companies that I've worked with in the past, and I was in the booth working with so many other companies. I really didn't get a chance to go to new ones as much. A couple I did. Oh, so cute. I got a little magnet. Look at that. Peace, love, pause. Some little owls. I love their owls. Here's some frogs, some candles, and some more cactus, or cacti, I should say. So these are little 2-inch stickers that they have, and that's a whole line of some of the things. We also have here our Imagine Takes Shape. This is just a cute little card with some of the stickers, and it talks about what Paper House is all about. So that's pretty fun. I also did a full video tour of the whole booth because I had some projects in the booth, and one of the things I noticed was these really cool shaker cards, and literally they're already ready to go. These are ones that you can just go ahead and stick on your projects. They already have the stuff in there. It is so user-friendly, and they're so cute. I love them. And these are nautical, and this one says at the beach. And I love that. It's great. And then they're moving into the world of planners, and I thought these were so cool. Look how many shapes they have. They're a whole bunch of the same. So this is Life Organized, and these are the 32 pieces of different types of planner stickers. And some of my planner friends might get a few cute ones. So I think I'm going to use a lot of these ones for my month of February, because look how cute they are. They're perfect for Valentine's Day, or for part of Valentine's Day. I think this is going to be part of my theme. And then this one also goes with the nautical theme and the Discover. I still need to figure out how to do the rest of my, look how cute. These ones are all a little bit different. The other ones were almost identical. And so somebody might be getting some fun sticker packs in my little planner group, because look how cute. I have to share the love. And look at the kitties. Look how cute the kitties are. Those are adorable. I love those cute kitties. And they're kind of shiny. They have a foil texture on the front. So this is part of their new Life Organized line from Paper House, along with some of their other cute stickers. So all this is there from Paper House. So one of the other areas that they had is they had this maker space, and they have these they weren't impromptu. You actually had to sign up ahead of time, but you could also walk in if you did not sign up, and it was all these different types of courses or mini classes about how to do something. And you didn't get to make it right then and there, and they didn't provide you with the materials, but the bags were sitting, and it was by Omnigrid, Dritz, and Collins. And these are the bags that you got. They're really quite cool, and they have a zipper on them. And in there were the materials that you needed to make that particular project if you just went home and got yourself material. So it was kind of on the lines of leading into sewing and stuff. And so the one that I sat in on and kind of listened to is all about how to make little throw pillows. And so supplies that we got from that are a dress marking pencil, and quilting pins, little half ball covered buttons, some specially hand needles. We got cable cording, some decorator needles. Here we got make to match buttons. We got a point turner seam creaser, and we also got a flexible yardstick. So basically all the tools that we would need. We didn't get thread, which I thought was kind of funny, but we got everything else. So I really could go back, and this is the point. This is, you can kind of see the little throw pillow idea. There's a little hole in the middle. That's what this was all about. So these are the little half button covers. I think you could throw these on here. I was kind of half paying attention because I was also waiting for something else to happen, and it just was kind of killing some time, but it was kind of a cool little idea. I loved the project, and unfortunately I didn't get any pictures of that either. But look at all the cool stuff that I got just by sitting down and listening, which was fantastic. And I didn't have to do anything, just listen and look at that. So another thing that came by as I was doing my project in Beacon is Cloth Paper Scissors walked by, and she said, "Do you have your latest book?" And I was like, "No, I don't." So she gave me their magazine, and I've read this before. I've never been in this particular magazine, but you never know. I keep putting my little feelers out there for various magazines for fun, and quite often I get in them, but sometimes you have to mail off your projects, and I'm just not always ready to mail off my project, and sometimes you don't get them back very timely, and I'm a little attached to some of my projects. They're kind of like my little pieces of art. So, but she did give me a free magazine. So one of the other companies that was there was Scotch, 3M, Command, Post-its. They're all part of the same parent company. The E6000 is also part of them, and this is a fabric fuse, and they had some bags sitting out, these bags, and for the first few days they had these painter's tape and this glue sitting in there, and if you just grab the bag you end up getting the stuff for free. They also are coming out with a brand new line of adhesives, and that's what these are stuck on here with to go with your ATG, and they gave me a free one. I went in and I was like, I ranted and raved about their ATG, and they said, "Well, how old is yours?" I said, "You know, I've had it about 8 years." She goes, "I'm gonna give you a new one." And she walked over and she handed me a brand new ATG. I mean, fresh out of the box, pink with adhesive, squeaky clean, brand new ATG. Love it. I mean, how sweet is that? And I got some new refills. I also complained to her that our local Hobby Lobby does not Hobby Lobby, sorry, Joann's never carries the refills. They have the gun, but no refills. I was a little upset. Anyway, the brand, and so she was like, "Oh, good to know, good to know." So their make and take that they had in the booth is this brand new, and they're going to change the packaging of this. It's not going to look like this anymore very soon. It's going to have the same tape, but the look is going to look different. So just as a heads up, don't look for the paper box. They're going to do it in something different. But the new, they have two kinds. They have an acid-free and they have a regular tape. And there's going to be a third one that is metal. So it's more for mixed media stuff. And that is holding this metal piece to this wood piece is that new one. And you can see the glue on there. And look how it's held, it's been pushed, it's been shoved. I'm having a pretty hard time pulling this off. And it's what's holding these metal pieces on here. I mean, look, I'm pulling. And it's still sticking on there fantastically. And I've never come across a glue gun that's been able to do this. This is acting like a wet glue, which is phenomenal. So look how cool that is. So I asked her if I could have a sample, and she's like, "No, it's not coming out until March or maybe even May. So we can't give samples away, but you could play with it in the booth." And awesome stuff. So thanks so much, Scotch. I really appreciate it. Well, another one of the booths I went to is Heidi Swap, and I had a pencil, and I actually have myself on film picking up the pencil, and now I can't find the pencil. It is absolutely gone. Now it's very well because a lot of the stuff I shipped back came through Renia. They actually stuffed it in extra boxes, and then it just came in today of all things. And that's why this has got a little torn. This is a planner insert, and she used her punch, and they showed me how to use the mink, and there's actually a demo of making this piece, and it got a little bit smashed. And it's very possible my pencil is still in one of the boxes, so I'm gonna go look for my Heidi pencil because I'd like it back. But in the meantime, I got a little bit of a rough and tough little planner insert, but that's okay. I enjoyed making it, or watching them make it, I should say. Everybody was walking around with these funny looking little lemons, and for the longest time I did not understand. There was definitely yarn companies there, and there was fabric companies, and there was lots of companies that were not just stickers and paper. They're expanding out into more of the art world and things, hence the change of the name as well. And so what this came from was, this is the Yarn Nation Campaign Initiatives, the Craft Yarn Council, and she says it was all about way to help reduce stress. And so there's a lot of companies that will donate, and they help sponsor events to help educate and to show people all the love of using yarn and crocheting and knitting and reducing your stress. And so that's what this was all about. And so they're passing out little lemons for everybody to kind of understand what the Yarn Council is about. And they had made a ton of lemons. Pretty cool stuff. Another amazing company was there, and I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to finish this project at home. I just did not have time. Is lots of people were walking around with these cute little top hats. And so what they had is they had made these top hats from a die and put it all together, and there's like a little bit of plastic in here. They gave you a headband, so cute, and then you got to dress up your little top hat however you wanted. So the company that was with this is called Charity Wings. The whole point is that different companies will help donate projects and products to places that don't necessarily have the ability to buy it themselves. It could be all different kinds of stuff. And so the companies that were there sponsoring this, there could be, for instance, the felt company. I believe this was from Kunin. The flower company, I think Petaloo was helping sponsor this. There was also some chipboard pieces. Oh, I didn't realize this was in here. Look how pretty. There was somebody who provided the feathers. Beacon was part of it for the glue. And so everybody was helping donate fun things that you could use to create a really cool. So I said I would take it home and I would talk about it, and I would make it when I got home. And so that's going to be a project that I'm going to do coming up, is making this cute little hat. Another cute little company that was just kind of around the corner from us, and they had all these cute little figurines, and it was a ton of them, and they're small and big and everything. And I asked, I was like, I have 3 kids. Is there any way that I can have one? He's like, yeah, just pick the random. I got this cute Taj Mahal, and this is from Safari Limited, and it's written on the bottom there. That's why I know. So I got my oldest son the Taj Mahal. I got my middle the Stegosaurus. It actually says what it is underneath it. That's pretty cool. And I got my daughter the butterfly, and it says Morpheo Mendalis. And I like the fact that you flip it over and it actually says what these little figurines are. And she's already looked at it and says, can I have a butterfly? So I picked right. I picked wonderfully. And instead of getting her the typical pink or purple, I got her blue, just to kind of change it up a bit. So thank you so much. My kids already been fawning over them, but I said I had to show them off first and give the company props for thinking of my kids. Another company that was right, I think it was 2 doors down from us, is this You Paint Metal Crafts. And I was talking with him, and he said, yeah, sure, you can take a sample, especially if you kind of show it off. And this is not a light-hearted project. This has got some heft to it. I mean, this is definitely not like a flexible material, but it's something that you could paint and create as a centerpiece. And they had borders and they had shapes. He had a lion head. He goes, I have a sunflower. And I said, aha, that's the one I want. So he let me bring home a sunflower, and then that gorgeous. But again, look, you can't bend this sucker. It's pretty darn firm. So this is from You Paint Metal Crafts. Pretty fun stuff. So thank you so much. At the end of the entire show, and I know I'm jumping around all over the place, but there was a box, and there was a whole, there was an organization that was walking around, and it was all about teachers that were taking things that people were throwing away and then donating them to schools around the area. And I happened to come across a big giant box of this artist tape, and they said, just take a couple, thanks so much. And what we were doing is we were walking around to all the booths around us, and we found a whole box of these popsicle sticks, all different sizes. And I said, do you mind if I take a couple so I can show the people what the popsicle sticks, and then it would remind me of obviously the teacher's donation thing. So it was a really generous cause, because part of it is look at all the stuff that artists get. Some of the companies want to give these things away, but there's also a ton of people at the end of the shows that are literally scavenging for stuff. And I did a little bit, but I wasn't being nosy or picky, as if I saw it laying on the ground. And it became my mission, because part of it, we were waiting for boxes to show up to pack up some of the booths. And I got a little bored, and I saw these ladies walking around and looking for items. And so I found boxes that were going to go in the trash full of painter's tape and popsicle sticks. Now, if you've ever painted, you know that painter's tape goes through like crazy, and they had probably over 200 rolls of painter's tape in this box that we were able to donate. And there was over 5,000 popsicle sticks of different sizes, shapes, and colors that we were able to donate. And just think of some of the schools that would never had a chance to play with these things had those boxes not been picked up and given to the right people. They would have just been put in the trash. So I'm very happy. We also got some stuff from some other companies. Petaloo and Floorcraft had a bunch of things that were sitting out that we were able to give to them. And it made me feel good that I was able to help scavenge around. I just found like rolls of tape, you know, Scotch tape. We found all kinds of stuff, some papers laying around. We found empty boxes, like cardboard that we could use. So it really was kind of a fun thing at the end, that even though I was tired and exhausted, we also found paper flowers that they were able to take and use. We gave them some of the stuff from the booth from Renia. We had these giant snowflakes that we helped give them because they were still, the foil was still in condition. We just couldn't bring it home. It would have gotten smashed, but they could easily use pieces of the foil for all kinds of cool stuff. So Petaloo was one of the other companies that were there, and Floorcraft just bought out Petaloo. And so this was one of the make and takes that Maggie Harding did. And so these are some of the flowers. One fell off, but that's okay. I kind of like it better the way it is right now. And so we made this cute little shaker card ready for Valentine's Day. Perfect. Or it could be more like a postcard, or I could glue this to the front of a card. This was what one of the projects was. She had a project each day, so she didn't change it about. I did find this on the floor after the fact, and I thought, mine now. And then they had this giant display. It looked like these giant cactuses, and they put these flowers on them like the cactuses was about to flower. And you can see where they had actually put these little stems on here, and they were stuck. And look how pretty they are. They're so gorgeous. And so they were throwing it away, and that's when I brought the teachers over, and I said, do you mind if I have one of each color, because they're really pretty? And again, a talking point. They did give probably about 40 of these flowers. We were able to pull them off the cactuses, and a bunch of buttons and some other fun things that were attached, these giant styrofoam cactuses. She said, yeah, sure, take one home, but definitely talk about the program, about how they're taking all these donations from different conferences, especially the art conferences, and they're giving them back to the schools. So thank you, Petaloo, for donating, Floorcraft as well, and also for that teacher organization for thinking about going and getting all these amazing things to pass out to all the kids. It's an awesome thing. And that's the same place where the painter's tape went and where the popsicle sticks went. So it's an awesome organization. Another company that we kind of ran into at the very end, and how I kept missing them is beyond me, because I had some really cool stuff, is I happened to notice there was a bottle of glue sitting on the ground, and I was picking it up and putting it back on the table. And then they had a whole box of these little mono glues, and I said, oh, I didn't realize Tombow was here. She goes, no, because these were the samples I remember getting when we were at the Pinners Conference. And she goes, no, but Tombow donated a whole bunch, or they gave us a whole bunch of adhesive to do some of our make and takes. And why don't you grab a couple, because the box had like 5 left. And she goes, just take a couple each. And so I was able to take a couple, which was very nice. She handed them to me. I said, oh, well, what stuff do you do? She goes, well, we import these really cool little foil pieces, as you can see here. And the company's name is Shylling. It's like Shylling. And then they also had the original glitter. It's like glass glitter. It was really pretty. In all these different colors, and these were just sitting on the floor. She goes, take one. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna definitely talk about it, but look how pretty those are. Those are gorgeous, and they're pretty firm. They're not super, I mean, they're flexible, but you're not gonna pretty much rip them. They're not like paper, like super thin. They've got some heft. So this is a really pretty little heart, and the detail on them is gorgeous. They're absolutely beautiful. So thank you so much. I'm really loving these little guys. So again, at the end of the day, we're walking around and we're running into some people and talking with them. And I kept seeing everybody with these really cool little lights on, and these are more pins. And Elena Hull was sitting there with her little camper, and she said, the lady, her name is Natasha Durnsey, and she's Techno Chic, DIY tech craft kits. And so you can see her really pretty little light here. And she had left, but she was going to throw them away. She's like, no, put them on the table, because she had this table right by her booth, and we'll pass them out to people that don't have them yet. And so I pulled the battery off real fast because I didn't want it to die, and I wanted you guys to see. I had to finagle and figure out which way the battery was. She had it all set up with tape so that it was just turned on, but I didn't want it to die before I brought it home. So let me see if I can, I don't know if you can see that any better, but it's definitely a light. And so you take that out and the light turns off. So she put the battery between the two wires, so the positive and negative were flowing through the battery. And it was this cute little button, and actually a pin everybody was wearing on their lanyard. So she had the same idea as me. She just took it to a technology level, which is pretty fun. So I didn't get a chance to meet her, but I saw them and I got one. So thanks so much, Natasha. Really, really cute project. And I love the bright colors on this. It's really fun. And the metallic really kind of made, as everybody was walking around, the metallics were really showing off the light well, or the light showed off the metallics well, depending on how you're looking at it. So that's a cool little thing that I got. Another company that was just right around away from us, they did all these iron-on patches. Teas and Novelties Incorporated. So this is one where I got a really pretty flower. So they had those kind of sitting out. Another company is Dover Crafts, and I didn't get a chance to see them, but again, I found this little bottle as we were walking around looking things for the teachers. We found an entire couple of cases of this stuff, and she said, just take one. So that way you can talk about another company that donated a whole bunch of these, and there was a whole box, probably about 200 of them in there. And so she said, take one so you can talk about another company who's donating all these things for the teachers. And so it's a confetti glitter glue, which is really pretty. There's like stars in here and all kinds of cool stuff. So it says Star Mix is the name of it. So really cute stuff. Adds sparkle and glitter. And it hasn't even been opened yet. It's still a brand new package. So amazing. Here's one of the little paper flowers they had on this giant scape they had in the back. And I kind of got a little bit of video of it, but not much. I didn't realize how impressive it was because there's so much stuff that I missed. And I didn't catch it until after the fact, after it had been partly torn down. But this is the smallest flower they made. Some of the largest paper flowers were the size of like dinner plates or bigger. They're massive and they're really, really cool. And that's just one of the ones that I happened to bring home that I thought was a really fun piece. Tim Holtz was there, and I got him on video, or doing video, and they were passing out a stencil and stamp set, and he got to sign it, so I thought that was pretty fun. And this is a little kitty cat that says "so." And then we got a stencil from him. And they did a really cute way of doing the stencil. You walked up and everybody was given this little tag, and it really truly is a tag. It looks like a tag. And so I thought they were passing these out and then they were going to collect them. And that's what they were collecting, as they were passing out, so nobody could get two stamp set. And he turned around and handed it to me, and he drew a line on the back and he goes, okay, here's your stamp. I'm like, oh, we get to keep, he's like, of course, it's a stamp. We're gonna get both. So I thought that was pretty fun that we got to keep both stamps. So thanks so much. That came from Stampers and Another fun company that was right around the corner from us that we were kind of watching, and I was like, ooh, that looks really cool. And it reminded me of Needlepoint, but it's not. And this is called Needle Art World LLC. And I'll have to explain it to you because I really didn't get this on video either, but I thought this was really pretty and fun. Oh, there's an extra one in here. So you get this, and this is a material, and you peel off the front, and it's adhesive. And then you get these really gorgeous little crystals that you stick on here, and there's colors to it. And so you end up creating the pattern when it's all said and done. And so you put this little, these crystals all on here, and all the crystal pieces are in here, as you can see. And you get this really cool little tool to help you pick up, and you get a tray so you can put all your crystals in the tray. And this is this little pickup tool that you get right here. And then you get some wax so it sticks to there. And so literally it's you're picking up and placing, picking up and placing. And it was just, they're really, really cool when they're all said and done. And so I was working on this one, and as I was working, he handed me a whole nother kit. I said, oh, well, is that going to be enough to make both? He goes, maybe, you might just have enough. And he goes, if not, here's a second kit. And he goes, whatever's left over, because you're given a few extra, because you're bound to drop them. And they're in here too. He goes, whatever's left in here, you use to finish up the first one. And then you have your own personalized one, because they're the same pattern, just different colors. I was like, oh, that's cool. And they're really pretty looking. And they had some massive ones. They were like the size of like an 18 by 40 painting or something. They were just huge, and it was taking forever. And he goes, yeah, instead of doing a puzzle, you just lay it out. You sit down at Christmas time with your family, and you just kind of do this fun little project. I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And it's pretty when it's done. It looks like a work of art, and it's shimmery and shiny, and there's all kinds of cool stuff. So during one of my making takes, DecoArt was there. I needed to borrow a paintbrush, and you can tell I had the glitter, and this is what I was using with the fast finish. And I went back and I said, thanks so much. And they looked at it, and it was all gross with glitter, and he goes, keep them. Just, they're yours. They really couldn't reuse them. It was the last day anyway. And he goes, you know what? You got a couple of really cool DecoArt flat brushes. And I said, oh, thanks. They cleaned up really well, but he didn't like the fact that it was glitter still on them, so I was able to keep them. So I got some new papers. Another company that I ran into, and this is actually a friend of mine I've been on teams before, is Joy Claire Stamps. And so she gave me this really cute little stamp so it says "Be Joyful" with a little birdie on there, and I kind of got to keep that one. And this was their little CHA, little fun kind of giveaway they were giving to everybody. Some people had some very specific things that were only given away at the show, like the stamp set, or like this little stamp, or the stamp right here, or it could have been just like the 7 Gypsies had their sticker, and it was very specific, and it had, you know, like, hey, off your first order if you put in a code or something like that. That's written. It was for wholesale stuff, was the point behind it. Speedy Wrap was just a couple of booths down from us, and they had a little fun pen. They were a way that you could actually wrap and store things. Some companies were there specifically for how to package things or wrap. There were some people like that sell the bags that the stamps would go into. So it's a little bit of everything when you go to a conference like this. Spellbinders was there, and one of the mornings I was able to go in and get a stamp. They were also sometimes passing out dies, but by the time I got there, the dies were gone. So I got this stamp, and it says "Suck it up, Buttercup." And then the other little freebie thing that they were passing out were these cute little keychains that have their Spellbinders die cut machine on there. So that's what the fun little freebie was. When you walked into the booth, you got this little guy. So I thought that was kind of fun. And as we were standing around waiting in line to get our Spellbinders dies, and it was only given to so many people on the beginning of either a Saturday or a Sunday. And so if you did not go Monday, they didn't do it. And if you got there too late, they were already gone. And the line that I was standing in was right in front of a 49th and Market. So they gave me their catalog of their stuff. Really, really beautiful things. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is the 49th and Market catalog, and he had a sample paper, and this is what the paper texture actually is. It was just smaller scale, so it's a little 6x6, and on the back side it has their botanicals collection, so you can see the pretty paper lines, and then one example of the paper. I believe it was this one right here. That's what it looks like to me, this sheet right here, and we actually got to take this. So he was passing these out to everybody. I was like, well, that's kind of smart. You got free marketing because we were all standing in front of here waiting for a stamp. Couldn't ask for more. And I'm nearing to the end. Couple last little things. Another company that gave me a cute little sample was Etchall. I'm going to be doing a blog hop with them coming up sometime soon, but he gave me one to kind of play with just to see before I got my big package that I'm going to get. This one was also Pink and Main, and I ran into them and talked with them, and there's a cute little stamp company. So this was a set that they were giving out for everybody. It was their cute little stamp set. And then this little guy came from, I was in the Canvas Core booth, and it's FE, but they were giving out these cute little bags. And obviously, look at all the cacti and stuff. They had made them specifically for the conference. Fabric Editions was the main fabric company that was supplying all of the fabrics for anything that was in the show. So including the Fashion Fusion, we got our fabrics from Fabric Editions. So that's where this came from. So now I'm kind of glad that I picked that up. My friend Bets Golden picked this up for me, and it's a really cool bag, and it's very distressed looking. It reminds me of kind of the 7 Gypsies, Tim Holtzy kind of a vibe to it. And I'm not really sure who it came from. It may have come from one of the Ranger companies or from Stampers Anonymous, but she ran up to me and she goes, I got this for you. And I really don't even know where it came from, but I think it's really cool. And I love the size of it because it can fit a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and it's not super thick. Therefore, it's not going to get too heavy or weighted down. And I think even your iris totes would fit inside this bag. So that's pretty cool. The last thing is my apron, and this is a project I did before I went, and this is what I was wearing in every single one of my pictures that I did on the days that we had the conference. Oh, I got some glue on it. And I made myself a little name tag so people could easily see my name as I was walking around, and also that they could see some of the work that I do and some of the fun things. This is a flower that I made using a lot of the Canvas Core pieces, and this is actually a Prima flower right here, and all onto the apron, which I loved because I had pockets that I was putting things in, which came in super handy. And it was just a fun thing to wear while I was walking around for a couple of uses. My name was on it because half the time our name badges were being flipped around, and also so I had extra pockets because man, that came in handy having extra pockets. So this is what I got from CHA, or now Creativation. I did do some other fun little projects and some other make and take things that I'm going to do very specific videos on. So come back and stay tuned to seeing some of those things. One of them is from Gel Press. One of them is from the Fashion Fusion. I am going to finish my fun little hat that I did, but these are the amazing products that I was able to come home with as freebies, or because I happened to sit on a class, or because I was part of the design team and they were giving me extra product to bring home, or, you know, being at the right place at the right time for some of it, or because I did a make and take with them. That's what some of those things were all about. So thanks so much. And I am so extremely happy that I got to go and have fun. And I can't wait to show you all the rest of the videos. So thanks so much. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.